He's the most courageous, outspoken critic of the liberal civil rights establishment in America today. His commitment to truth is the perfect medicine for a value-challenged society. He is this generation's Booker T. Washington. This is the Jesse Lee Peterson Show.
Okay. It's a rainy night in L.A. I feel like it's raining all over the world. A rainy night. Welcome back to the show. Jesse Peterson is here. Lines are open, folks. Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. Again, those who are just tuning in at this last hour, we're on 3 hours a day, Monday through Friday, from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 9 to noon Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to get all 3 hours, you can, if you're not getting it by way of radio, you can log in by going to my website at bondaction.org, bond, A-C-T-I-O-N, bondaction.org, and put your name in town. No, what am I talking about? That's an email. But you can log in and get the show for 3 hours. A lot of good stuff. I am in studio today. I've been away, but I'm back. And Merry Christmas to everybody. You can email radio at bondinfo.org, radio at bondinfo.org. And put your name in town. Thursday is our email day, where Linnell comes into the studio. I know she hasn't done it in a couple weeks, but she comes in and reads your emails. The good and the bad. Whether you agree or disagree, we read them all. Couple things I want to get off my chest, and there's a study I want to talk to you about as well, so I want to move a little faster here, but I am taking your calls as they come in, whether you agree or disagree. There's this guy by the name of Colin Powell. And Colin Powell at one time was Secretary of State. Colin Powell got to where he is today because of the Republican Party, because he was a Republican. And many people viewed him as a good man, a good Republican. I remember at one time there were talk about him becoming the president of this great nation. And I think a lot of people would have voted for him. I don't think he would have gotten 96% of black people voted for him because he was a Republican. And black Americans have been dumbed down. They've been taught to hate the Republican Party under this false notion that Republicans want to take away their welfare checks and put them back in slavery. And that it's an organization of white men, racist white men. All those things are lies, but nevertheless, black people would not have voted for Colin Powell 96% because he was Republican. Even though he would have been making history, they still would not have voted for him. But anyway, Colin Powell at one time was supposed to be a Republican. Now, at one time, I had some respect for him. I liked him. He was okay. I never agreed with his liberal ideas. He supported abortion. He also supported affirmative action. Those same liberal Democrat governmental programs that keep black Americans down. So I never agreed with Colin Powell about those things. I also felt that he was controlled by his wife. And I don't respect men who allows their wives to control them. I think those type men are weak men. And it's not that you have to be macho, you just have to love what's right. And so at one point there was talk about Colin Powell becoming president. And I believe I read that his wife didn't want him to do it. She was afraid. And apparently she had some other issues, so he decided not to do it because of her. And so I just didn't really I like Colin Powell, but he wasn't a big deal to me. Well, at the last minute, Colin Powell came out and he endorsed the Messiah, the great one, the anointed one by God, Jesus the Christ, the Messiah that most blacks have been waiting for the last 40 years, President-elect Barack Obama. Colin Powell abandoned the Republican Party and endorsed Barack Obama. And when he did that, I lost total respect for him. I have none now for him. He is a traitor to the Republican Party, the party that helped him. I think he did it, and this is my personal opinion, I think he did it because he wanted to appease black folks. Because when you're a black conservative Republican, you're hated by most black people. And I think that Colin Powell needed the love of black Americans. He's an empty man, empty shell. And I think so. I believe that that's one of the reasons he came over, because he wanted them. Now, I don't know if he's bucking for a position in Barack's administration. I don't know that. That is wait and see thing. But I have no respect for the guy at all anymore. I think he's a traitor to the Republican Party. Well, in an interview posted this week on CNN, Colin Powell was interviewed by CNN, and listen to what this disgusting, weak, pathetic of a man had to say. And I'll give it to you in part, in case you have not heard about it. He said, the Republican Party must stop shouting at the world and start listening to minority groups if it is to win elections in the 21st century. He said this in an interview with CNN. He said that, let's see here. President Bush, former Secretary of State, said his party's attempt to use polarization for political advantage backfired last month. This man, Colin Powell, is making me sick as I speak. He also said, I think the party has to take a hard look at itself. There's nothing wrong with being conservative. There's nothing wrong with having socially conservative views. I don't object to that. But if the party wants to have a future in this country, it has to face some realities. In another 20 years, the majority in this country will be the minorities. The majority in this country will be the minorities. So this traitor, Colin Powell, if I am understanding this correctly, and I could be wrong, and I'm open for a correction, he is saying that just because the minorities will be the majorities in 20 years, that Republicans need to change their value system. They need to do what he is doing and has done. They need to abandon the principles of God, meaning the principle of life, that every child deserves a chance to live and not be aborted. Marriage between a man and a woman, and your children born under the umbrella of marriage instead of 70% of them out of wedlock. Socialist idea, as most minorities, they have a socialist mentality, and you can see it by looking or taking a gander at their communities. They most, especially in the black community, they live as though they live in a socialist society. They have a socialist mentality, a dependency upon government, upon people telling them how to think, what to feel, who to vote for, when to vote for them. Colin Powell is saying here that unless the Republican Party